How could you leave me when I needed you? Possessed you. I hated you. I loved you too.
Bad dreams in the night. You told me I was
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Emerald Fennell is back with another saucy, steamy, sexy gothic romance. And once again, I've come away knowing more about Fennell's personal sexual fantasies than I do any of her characters or the nuances of their story. There's nothing in Wuthering Heights that's quite as objectionable as slurping cum out of a bathtub drain or smearing period blood all over your face to imitate a vampire. But in its opening scene, it does sexualize a hanging, and that sets the tone going forward. This is definitely a Saltburnification of Emily Bronte's classic. It's lurid, nostalgic, darkly funny, a little bit perverse, and it favors style over substance. It's visually stunning, beautifully atmospheric, but narratively one-dimensional.
It insists upon itself, Lois.
What?
It insists upon itself.
What does that even mean?
In interviews, Fennell has been saying that she wanted to preserve the version of Wuthering Heights that she remembers reading when she was 14. And after watching the film, that explanation makes so much sense. This is basically a randy teenager's fanfic version of Wuthering Heights. This is the version of Wuthering Heights that Tina Belcher would write, except with fewer zombies.
Everyone began to touch each other's butts. Omar touched Jocelyn's butt. Chad the zombie touched the butt of that girl with the frosted hair from my art class. I think her name is Christy.
Admittedly, I haven't read the book.
I haven't read the book.
But I know the basic story from other adaptations, and there have been a lot of them. So many that it makes you wonder if we really need another one. At least with this one, Fennell is doing something new, something uniquely her own. But I think it's tough to make Wuthering Heights work as a movie. Whereas books like Dracula and A Christmas Carol are really cinematic and structurally lend themselves to a 3-act screenplay, I think the story of Wuthering Heights is better suited to a novel. Years go by where very little seems to be happening. Most of the emotional character development happens internally, and it's hard to visualize that kind of navel-gazing.
Well, as a love story.
Sorry, as a what?
A love story?
Oh, come on, Jez, this isn't a fucking love story, it's a fucking fuck story. It's about animal lusts and earth and dirt and fluids, not love, art, companionship, all that rubbish.
Margot Robbie is great as this particular version of Kathy. She's completely in sync with Fennell's vision of this character and having an absolute blast with it. Robbie has more chemistry with Jacob Elordi than she had with Colin Farrell in A Big, Bold, Beautiful Shit Show, but not much more. I think part of the problem is that Elordi seems to be phoning it in a bit here. His performance isn't bad, it's just a bit dull and uninspired. I think maybe he was miscast. Heathcliff is a tough role to pull off. You have to be handsome and charming, but you also have to be a cruel, brutish piece of shit. You need an actor on the level of a Daniel Day-Lewis or a Denzel Washington to pull it off. Jacob Elordi has given some incredible performances in the past, but he was more complex and sympathetic as Nate Jacobs than he is as Heathcliff, and he was sexier as Frankenstein's monster than he is as Heathcliff. There are some terrific supporting turns dotted around the main pair. Hong Chow is always great, Saltburn's Alison Oliver steals every scene she's in, and Martin Clunes plays hilariously against type as a horrible bastard. The crew are all at the top of their game doing spectacular work. Cinematographer Linus Sandgren does some great stuff behind the camera, shooting the moors draped in a thick layer of mist, creating a beautifully eerie atmosphere, and capturing all the quirky gothic sets in stunning detail. Victoria Boydell does some really interesting stuff with the editing, especially when she flits back and forth with match cuts between the past and the present. The problem is with Fennell's script. The characterization is paper thin, the two lead actors barely have anything to work with, besides an abundance of sex scenes. Most of the changes to the story suit a teenager's idealized wish-fulfillment fantasy version of Bronte's novel, skipping over the more complicated, challenging parts of the source material, or worse yet, romanticizing them. The dialogue in Fennell's script epitomizes the kind of grating, antiquated, old-time speak that make costume dramas my least favorite of all the genres. I love The Favourite and Greta Gerwig's Little Women because the dialogue has a modern clip. Most recently, Hamnet found a nice middle ground. But the dialogue in Wuthering Heights has an unnatural stiffness. It hits the ear wrong when all these modern actors speak in ye old history babble. Wuthering Heights is missing Fennell's signature 2000s needle drops. She takes a totally different approach to the music here. The film has an eerie score by Anthony Willis, but it also has an amazing original soundtrack by Charli XCX. She basically reinvents what a period score should sound like. It has this modern pop sound, but it never takes you out of the old-timey romance vibe. It fits with the visuals perfectly. The only problem is that the soundtrack overshadows the movie itself. This is a pretty good film wrapped around a really great album. Every time one of Charli's songs drops, it takes over the whole experience. The film feels like a series of music videos to promote the album.
All right, okay. Now, where do you want me to stand?
Just there. That's
Okay.
great.
When Emerald Fennell burst onto the scene with Promising Young Woman, I couldn't wait to see what she would do next. That was a really great film, with a powerful message and an engaging, unpredictable plot and an amazing lead performance by Carey Mulligan. Then she made Saltburn, which was derivative and took the wrong side in class warfare, but also brilliantly acted and a very entertaining romp. It's like a trashy soap opera shot in an art house style with some of the best actors in the world. Rosamund Pike was robbed of an Oscar nomination.
Oliver, I have a complete and utter horror of ugliness. Ever since I was very young. I don't know why.
Because you're a terrible person.
Don't be mean.
Now she's made Wuthering Heights, which is fine. It does the job. It gives you exactly what you're expecting from Emerald Fennell's version of Wuthering Heights. So Emerald Fennell has directed 3 films so far, and I've enjoyed each one less than the last. Wuthering Heights isn't a bad film, but it's nowhere near as tightly constructed as Promising Young Woman, and it's nowhere near as exciting as Saltburn. Even with all its flaws, Saltburn was a wild ride, a singular voice telling a story that only she could tell, and only she would tell. Wuthering Heights is the same story you've seen 100 times before, just with more wish fulfillment fantasies and brazen displays of fetishism.
Fuck you, Mark's going into bat for me.
He hasn't understood the book at all. Wuthering Heights isn't a hymn to lust and passion.
And he's really good at this, unlike any game actually involving a bat.
Gothic nonsense is, and how it inevitably has to give way to real life and real love.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.